The average American household spends over $200 a month on gasoline. That is nearly $2,500 a year, just burning through the pump. But in Japan, seniors are spending a fraction of that. Some of them are cutting their fuel bills by 40%, 50%, even more, and they are not buying Teslas or installing solar panels on their roofs. They are using a collection of driving techniques, vehicle choices, and cultural habits that the rest of the world has either ignored or never heard of. And the crazy part? Most of these methods work on any car, in any country, starting today. No modifications, no expensive upgrades, no gimmicks. Japan has the oldest population on the planet. Over 29% of the country is 65 or older. That is roughly 36 million seniors. And here is what is fascinating. These are not people sitting at home. They are driving. A lot of them depend on their cars, especially in rural areas where public transportation is thin. So, fuel costs matter. Every single yen matters. And over decades, Japanese drivers, especially older ones, have refined a set of habits that squeeze every last kilometer out of a liter of fuel. Let me walk you through exactly what they do. Method 1. The gentle start. This is probably the single biggest fuel saver that almost nobody in America practices. Japan's Energy Conservation Center tested this extensively. They found that simply accelerating gently from a stop, reaching about 20 kilometers per hour in the first 5 seconds, improves fuel efficiency by 10%. Just from that one habit. Think about how you drive right now. A light turns green. You press the gas. You want to get up to speed quickly. In Japan, seniors do not do that. They ease into it. Slow, smooth, deliberate. No rushing. It sounds almost too simple, but the math is brutal. If you are spending $200 a month on gas, and you improve efficiency by 10% just by changing how you press the accelerator, that is $20 a month back in your pocket, $240 a year. And that is just the first technique. Method 2. Idling stop. Japan has been running a nationwide idling stop campaign since 1997. The Ministry of the Environment launched it, and it became a cultural movement. The concept is dead simple. If you are going to be stopped for more than 5 seconds, turn off your engine. 5 seconds. That's it. Not 5 minutes. 5 seconds. According to the Japan Times, the average car burns about 130 cubic centimeters of fuel in just 10 minutes of idling. If you cut back on idling by 10 minutes a day, you save roughly 47 liters of gas per year. At current fuel prices, that is real money. Tokyo and Osaka have city ordinances that prohibit unnecessary engine idling when parked. Hyogo Prefecture went further and imposed fines of up to 100,000 yen. That's about $900 for drivers who leave their engines running while parked. Japanese seniors took this to heart. They turn off their engines at railroad crossings, at long traffic lights, while waiting to pick up grandchildren. Everywhere. Some newer Japanese cars come equipped with automatic idling stop systems that cut the engine when the car detects a stop and restart it the instant you touch the accelerator. But millions of Japanese seniors were doing this manually with their keys for years before the technology caught on. Method 3. The K-car advantage. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. In Japan, there is an entire class of vehicle called the KEI car, or light automobile. These are tiny, efficient machines with engines no larger than 660 cubic centimeters. Maximum length is 3.4 meters. Maximum width is 1.48 meters. They look like oversized toasters, and they are absolute fuel-sipping machines. Many of them get 50 to 60 miles per gallon or more. 1 out of every 3 passenger cars sold in Japan is a K-car. And guess who is buying them? Seniors. A dealership called Tortoise, located south of Tokyo, specializes in K-cars. 70% of their buyers are older adults. The managing director explained that after their children grow up and leave home, Many people downsize from larger family cars to compact ones. It makes perfect sense. You do not need a 3-row SUV when it is just you and your spouse running to the grocery store. In rural areas, where more than 40% of K-car owners are over 60, these vehicles are lifelines. They are cheap to buy. New ones range from $8,000 to $13,500, and the running costs are absurdly low. Japanese K-car owners pay lower road tax, lower insurance premiums, and in rural areas, they are even exempt from the parking space ownership requirement that applies to larger vehicles. While Americans are spending $60,000 on a full-size pickup truck that gets 18 miles per gallon and wondering why their fuel bill is crushing them, a 75-year-old woman in Nagasaki is driving her Suzuki Alto to the market and spending a quarter of what we spend at the pump. The Suzuki Alto, by the way, weighs about 700 kilograms and delivers fuel economy around 25 kilometers per liter. That is roughly 59 miles per gallon. Compare that to the average American car, which gets about 28 miles per gallon. It is not even close. Hey, if you are getting value from this, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Method 4. Constant speed driving. Japanese eco-driving guidelines, published by the Energy Conservation Center and backed by multiple government ministries, emphasize maintaining a constant speed as much as possible. Tests show that repeatedly speeding up and slowing down by even 10 kilometers per hour can increase fuel consumption by about 20% in suburban driving. That is massive. Japanese seniors are masters of this. They leave extra space between themselves and the car ahead. They do not tailgate. They do not chase the car in front of them only to hit the brakes 2 seconds later. By maintaining a steady following distance, they avoid the constant acceleration and deceleration cycle that absolutely destroys fuel economy. This is not just a fuel-saving trick. It is also safer. Japan's Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry created an official set of guidelines called the 10 Recommendations for Eco-Driving, and maintaining smooth, constant speed is one of the centerpieces. Method 5. Early accelerator release, or engine braking. This is the technique that separates casual drivers from truly efficient ones. When approaching a red light, a stop sign, or a turn, Japanese seniors release the accelerator much earlier than most Western drivers would. Instead of driving at full speed until they need to brake, they coast. They let the car's momentum carry them forward while the engine uses almost no fuel. This technique alone can reduce fuel consumption by as much as 2% in city driving and up to 6% in suburban driving, according to the Energy Conservation Center's own data. But here's the really clever part. When you are coasting in gear with your foot off the accelerator, most modern fuel-injected engines cut fuel delivery entirely. The injectors shut off. You are literally burning zero fuel while the car is still moving. Compare that to sitting at a red light with your engine idling, where you are burning fuel and going absolutely nowhere. Japanese seniors combine this with traffic light timing. They watch the lights ahead. If they see a red, they ease off early, coast, and often arrive at the intersection right as it turns green. No stop, no restart, no wasted fuel. It's almost like a game to them, and they've been playing it for decades. Method 6. Pulse and glide. This is the advanced technique, and it has been studied extensively in academic research. The concept is straightforward. Instead of cruising at a constant speed with the accelerator partially depressed, you accelerate efficiently to a target speed, then release the accelerator and coast until your speed drops to a lower threshold. Then repeat. For example, accelerate smoothly to 60 kilometers per hour, then coast down to 50 kilometers per hour, then pulse back up to 60. Your average speed stays the same, but your fuel consumption drops significantly because during the glide phase, you are burning little to no fuel. Scientific studies have shown this technique can improve fuel economy by approximately 20% in real-world conditions. In ideal conditions, the improvements can be even more dramatic. Toyota Prius drivers in Japan many of them seniors, have turned this into an art form. The Prius's hybrid system is perfectly suited for pulse and glide because the electric motor can handle the low-speed phases almost silently, while the gasoline engine runs only during the pulse phase when it is operating at peak efficiency. Method 7. Weight reduction and vehicle maintenance. This one sounds boring, but the numbers don't lie. For every extra 45 kilograms of unnecessary weight in your vehicle, fuel efficiency drops by about 2%. Japanese drivers, especially seniors, are meticulous about keeping their cars clean and light. They remove unnecessary items from the trunk. No golf clubs sitting there for weeks. No boxes of junk. No roof racks when they are not being used. Roof racks alone can increase aerodynamic drag and reduce fuel economy by several percentage points at highway speeds. Then there is tire pressure. This is criminally underrated. If your tire pressure is even slightly below the recommended level, your fuel consumption goes up. The Energy Conservation Center found that tires with pressure 50 kilopascals below the proper value increase fuel consumption by 2% in urban driving and 4% in suburban driving. And here is the thing, tire pressure naturally drops by about 5% every month. Japanese seniors check their tire pressure regularly. Many check it every 2 weeks. In America, half of the cars on the road are probably running on underinflated tires right now, and their owners have no idea they are wasting fuel because of it. Method 8. Route planning and timing. Before Japanese seniors leave the house, many of them check traffic conditions, plan their route, and avoid congested roads. This is not just common sense. It is a formally recommended eco-driving practice in Japan. Getting lost on a 1-hour drive and adding an extra 10 minutes of driving increases fuel consumption by approximately 17%, according to the Energy Conservation Center. That's staggering, but it goes beyond navigation. Japanese seniors time their trips to avoid rush hours. They consolidate errands into single trips instead of making multiple short drives throughout the day. Short trips on a cold engine are particularly wasteful because the engine has not reached its optimal operating temperature. A cold engine burns significantly more fuel than a warm one. By chaining errands together into one longer trip, the engine stays warm and operates with greater efficiency throughout. Method 9. Strategic use of air conditioning. Air conditioning can increase fuel consumption by 5% to 15%, depending on the outside temperature and how aggressively it is used. Japanese seniors often use the recirculate function, which cools already cooled interior air rather than pulling in hot outside air. This makes the air conditioning system work less hard and consume less energy. At lower speeds in the city, many will open windows instead of running the air conditioning. At higher speeds on highways, where open windows create drag, they will use air conditioning, but set it to a moderate temperature rather than blasting it on maximum. It is about balance, and Japanese drivers understand that balance intuitively. Method 10. The cultural mindset. And this might be the most important one. In Japan, fuel efficiency is not just a money-saving strategy. It is a cultural value. The Japanese word mottainai expresses a sense of regret over waste. It is deeply ingrained in the culture, and it extends to everything, including how you drive. Japanese seniors grew up in a country that has virtually no domestic oil production. Japan imports nearly 100% of its petroleum. The oil crises of the 1970s hit Japan incredibly hard and shaped an entire generation's relationship with energy consumption. The government passed the Energy Conservation Law in 1979, and it has been tightened and expanded multiple times since. The Top Runner program, launched in 1999, sets fuel economy targets based on the most efficient vehicle already on the market and requires all manufacturers to meet or exceed those targets. This created a competitive race to build the most fuel-efficient cars possible, which is why Japanese vehicles consistently lead global fuel economy rankings. So let's put this all together. An American driving a midsize SUV that gets 25 miles per gallon, spending about $200 a month on gas. A Japanese senior driving a K car that gets 55 miles per gallon, using gentle starts that save 10%, idling stop that saves 5 to 10%, constant speed driving that saves up to 20%, coasting and engine braking that saves 2 to 6%, proper tire pressure and weight management that saves 2 to 5%, and route planning that eliminates wasted miles. Stack all of these together, and you are easily looking at a 40 to 50% reduction in fuel costs, and in some cases even more. Savings matter. The average American is spending roughly $2,400 a year on gasoline. These Japanese methods applied consistently could save $1,000 to $1,200 a year. Over a decade, that is $10,000 to $12,000. None of this requires buying a new car. None of this requires any technology upgrade. It is all behavioral. It is all free. The Japanese figured this out decades ago, and most of the Western world never paid attention. Here is the kicker. These techniques do not just save money. They reduce engine wear, extend brake life, lower emissions, and make you a safer driver. Smooth, calm, anticipatory driving means fewer accidents, less stress, and longer vehicle life. The Japanese seniors who practice these methods are not just saving at the pump. They are saving on maintenance, on insurance, on everything related to car ownership. Safety and longevity follow. So the next time you are sitting in your driveway, engine idling, warming up your car for 10 minutes because you heard somewhere that it is good for the engine, remember, it is not. Modern engines need only a few seconds before they can be driven safely. Think about the 80-year-old woman in Osaka who turned off her engine the second she stopped moving, who accelerated as if she had nowhere to be, who coasted to every red light, who checked her tire pressure last Tuesday, and who will spend less on fuel this entire month than you spent last week. She is not doing anything complicated. She is just paying attention. That is the real Japanese method. That is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you have not done it already, please hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you do not miss our next video. Drop a comment below telling me which of these methods you are going to try first. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.